Happy Sunday, everybody. It's Kate here with the first and probably last video entry that I will ever do for my live journal. I was inspired by both Allie and Megan, who posted video entries chronicling interesting things that have happened to them over the last week or so. Allie, for instance, she got a condo. She's moving out of her parents' house and moving into a condo, so she owns property now. I own a bicycle, and that's pretty big for me. So congratulations to Allie. Megan got tickets to see U2 in concert, which would be absolutely amazing. She also informed us that she's joined a roller derby team, which blows my mind. I could never do something like that. I bruise very easily, and I don't like confrontation. And confrontation on wheels with the probability of being very badly bruised is not something that I generally go for. But Megan is going to kick ass at it. So I wish her all the best. And she told me that I get to help her pick out her badass roller derby name. So I'm excited about that. Is this shirt all right? I kind of feel like a member of the Little Rascals or Dennis the Menace wearing this shirt. I feel like I'm going to get up to some neighborhood shenanigans later. I saw a really funny sign on my way to church this morning. I don't know why I just thought of this, but you know how they have signs that you can put into the ground on street corners so when you're stopped at a stoplight, people can read them and hopefully attend your weight loss clinic or whatever it is that you're trying to sell. This one was for a fish fry at a local church. And the headline didn't really reach out and grab you like it probably should have. It was, "All the fish you care to eat," which was strange to me. You know, it's not all you can eat fish fry, all the fish you care to eat. I don't know if it's just a lack of general confidence in the fish that they're serving, or they don't want to put too much pressure on you to eat a lot of fish. But anyway, that's the kind of thing I notice when I drive to church. No real big news for me this week, other than it was my last week of my second full term of teaching. And everything went really well this term. I felt much more comfortable in my role as a teacher than I did last term, which was, probably not surprising given the fact that I got the job on like the Thursday before classes actually started last term. So, I felt much more comfortable. I felt like I had a better rapport with all of my students. And the connections that I've made to the faculty and my colleagues with whom I work every day has just been a source of constant inspiration and motivation to me. I want to be as good as they are someday. And I guess it's a good sign that I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing, because I can go to my job every day and I don't dread getting out of bed in the morning. For all of the bureaucracy and the paperwork and some of the challenges that come with being this kind of teacher, I am very, very happy, very grateful that I have the opportunity to do what I'm doing. So it makes a difference. I am on vacation. I'll be on vacation until Memorial Day, as a matter of fact. So I'll be going home tomorrow sometime, which is Monday. I'm looking forward to doing absolutely nothing. I had all these grandiose plans of, going skydiving or, taking up some kind of underwater basket weaving or something that would, make the time that I have off worth having. But in the end, all I really want to do is go home and hug my mom, hug my dad, lie on the couch with my dog, read Good Omens in the backyard, maybe work on the tan. I'm kind of pale. I don't know if you noticed. So I don't want to do anything on vacation, which leads me to something that happened last week. I ran a marathon. Okay, I didn't really run a marathon. It was half of a marathon, whatever 5K is in the running world. And if you know me, if you know anything about me, I generally avoid running. I was on a track team in middle school, 6th grade. I joined because I thought it would be fun, and after the first practice, I knew that I hated it. And I went home and I said, "Mom and Dad, I don't want to do this anymore. This is horrible. I'm tired and I'm sweaty and ugh." But my parents wouldn't let me quit because they were trying to teach me lessons about responsibility and living up to the promises that you make. So I ended up hating every second of it, but I guess, I stuck with it and I learned a very valuable lesson about commitments. Um, so, I have not run since, incidentally. Um, but no, a coworker of mine actually said, "Hey, there's this 5K race. Do you want to do it with me?" And I said, "Absolutely." Not thinking that somebody who hasn't run in about 3 or 4 years probably should do a little bit more training before they agree to a 5K race, which I found out, a couple of days before I ran was 3.1 miles. And I thought 3.1 miles, not bad. I probably could do that. Um, well, so, um, so it kind of came as a shock to the people that I knew that I was doing this, because I knew about a week and a half beforehand that I was going to run this race. And when I told my parents, they were especially surprised. My mother, I told her that I was going to run the race, and she said that she was very proud of me, which is good. She started off the bat with, I'm very proud of you, Katie. But also she said, sedentary Katie running a marathon? Which is another one of my mom's wonderful kind of backhanded compliments. Like when she tells me that my ears are really small and cute, or that I can get away with wearing a lot of interesting clothing because my torso is so short. Um, I know that she means them as the most wonderful compliments, and I love her for them because they are like little spots of joy in my life. But yeah, she said, sedentary Katie is going to run a marathon. And I said, well, yeah. And after that, I knew I had to do it. There was no backing down because it was a point of pride at that point that I actually do this thing. So I woke up really early last Saturday, and I didn't stretch, which is really, really stupid because as you'll see, I'll be paying for it later. But I got there and I managed to run the whole thing. I mean, not when I say run, I don't mean like sprint like a cheetah. I mean like jogging and then occasionally stopping to walk at a slightly slower pace, which was great because I had my iPod going. Allie, I had your mix that you made for Frasier and Lysatia. And I had the Pirates of the Caribbean music running, so I mean that always gets me in the mood. So I was running. I felt like I was going to throw up afterward, but I managed to finish, and I did it in not a terrible, degrading amount of time either. What was also really cool is that you pay the entrance fee and the registration fee, and it was actually held at an exotic feline rescue center. So they have lions and tigers and lynxes on the property. And part of the course was taking you through the actual habitat for these tigers. I mean, there were fences and everything, but you would run through these narrow corridors between fences, and there'd be a tiger right here, or I guess you can't see that. There's a tiger right here, or a lion right here, a lynx somewhere in the middle. And as I was running through this course, this part of the course, there was a guy jogging ahead of me, and there were 2 rows of tigers. And these tigers are huge. They're not little, they're not house cats. They're huge. I mean, their whole head, could swallow me quite easily. So there was a guy jogging in front of me, and I was jogging slightly behind him, and there was a tiger pacing back and forth on our left side. And at one point, the tiger actually charged the guy. I mean, there was a fence between them, but I mean, you saw these huge claws come up like, and the guy almost went over. Um, I guess that's not really a funny story. Well, it is. It is to me because I wasn't the one that could be prospectively mauled. But yeah, it was really cool. And afterward, we got a tour around the center, and we could see all the different kinds of animals. And I put on my best David Attenborough facade and tried to name all of the big cats according to genus and species, and of course botched it entirely. Got one right. I was able to look at a bobcat and say that's a bobcat. And the tigers and the lions, obviously. But it was really cool, and there was a great feeling of accomplishment that came with finishing that race. I don't know if I'll do another one, to be perfectly honest. I ran the marathon on a Saturday and had every intention of going to church the next day. But when I woke up on Sunday in time to go to church, I could not move. So I didn't go to church, and I thought, oh, it was probably a bad idea that you didn't stretch, Katie. Um, so, uh, yeah. I did run yesterday, though, because of a lack of anything else to do. Since I'm going home tomorrow, I really didn't have laundry to do or anything like that. So I took a little turn around the neighborhood, and that wasn't so bad. It was kind of humid out yesterday, but it was fine. So yeah, I don't know if this is going to be the beginning of the Kate Wilkening runner's world guide. I hope not, because it will involve me being very peaked and wound a lot of the time. But it was fun, and I'm glad I had the opportunity to do it. And I got a T-shirt out of it, which is really cool. I can wear my T-shirt around and be like, oh, I run. I'm healthy. Of course, I sit on my couch and I eat a lot of chocolate a lot of the time. Quick shout out to the ladies in the Cove, because that has become kind of procedure lately. I'm having so much fun writing with you girls. Every single one of you brings so much to that game, and I know some of us have written together in the past, and that was fun, but this is just got an entirely different feeling to it. A more mature, thoughtful, creative approach, I can say. I think we've said in the past that we used to write a lot of blue prose, and it's very true, and I was extremely guilty of it, and I can't look back on the things that I wrote in 2003, 2004 without some degree of horror at all of the adjectives and adverbs that I strung together indiscriminately. So this is a more sober, mature, introspective kind of game. That's not to say that it isn't crazy, because there are some absolutely crazy aspects to it. But I feel like we have really grown as writers in the interim between our first game and this game. So that's been a joy to see, and I'm so grateful that I get the opportunity to play with you girls, and to write with you, and to learn from you, and to be able to keep your friendships, because you mean more to me than I can possibly say. You give me the voice that is inside of me that maybe is not being correctly articulated in this video log. So I'm extremely grateful for your friendships and for your willingness to create and to never stop believing in the power of words and the ability for words to bring people together. So I hope that this game goes on for a very long time, and that we continue to cultivate new ideas and new friendships, and that yeah, that we stick together for a really long time. All right, I'm going this is going to be like 13 and a half minutes, and I'm so grateful for anybody who stuck around long enough, because this will probably be the last time that I do this. But wanted to say have a very happy week to those of you who are getting back to work and back to school, and I will be seeing you later.